Hi, it's Leslie. Welcome back to the Sewing Circle. Today we are upcycling a vintage nightgown into a fall duster. You're not going to want to miss this. But before we start, I wanted to say that September 1st was my channel's 2-year anniversary. So September is the anniversary month and it is National Sewing Month. So I'm going to put on my sewing crown with my pin cushions to celebrate. And I'm going to ask you if you, my beautiful subscribers, could say happy birthday in the comments and then share something that you would love to see me upcycle or make in the year ahead. Thank you all very much. I love you so much. Now let's go upcycle this nightgown. I picked up this white nightgown at Dollar Thrift. Seems like it's vintage. And I want to make it into an upcycled duster. So let's get started. This nightgown has a split in the front, buttons down the front. We're going to remove the buttons and open that split. We're going to be modifying the sleeves and adding some ruffles and vintage fabrics and laces to this to make a beautiful duster. Now we're going to head out to the sewing trailer and start working on this. But first, I think I'm going to go ahead and remove the sleeves. And we're going to work from a modified sleeve. So we've turned the nightgown inside out. And I'm thinking that I might just cut the sleeve shorter. And then I can add a big full sleeve to that edge. I think we're going to go out to the trailer and mark this, cut the sleeves, and start working on modifying this into a beautiful duster.
It is so beautiful here today as I head back to the trailer. Just gorgeous.
Mark the sleeves off with just like a 1/2 inch seam allowance left behind to attach 2 rectangles. So a rectangle for each sleeve that I could gather onto it. Also took care of making sure that I didn't damage the lace pieces on there because I was going to be using them on the front of the nightgown. I did not end up using it because I melted it with my iron accidentally. So here I am with a vintage linen tablecloth that I actually used to make that batwing blouse out of. I have a lot left over. I love the fabric. It's gorgeous. And I'm just marking off those sleeves. I did about double the length around the sleeve that had been there originally, and measured down my arm to make sure that it was going to be the length that I wanted when it was finished. I then went ahead and removed the lace on the outside edge of this tablecloth so I could use it around the neck and down the front of the duster as I'm holding it up. This here was a piece that I was cutting to make pockets. I did end up making 2 pockets for the front. And then this is a piece that I was working on the back just a minute ago for some open work. Now, double gathering on the sleeve rectangles is very important to get an even gathering stitch around the edge. It just makes it so nice and neat. So if you're not familiar with double gathering, this is how nice it turns out. Look at that sleeve. So these are the pockets. I seamed around them, just edge stitched around them a 1/2 inch. And here I'm pressing them nice and pretty. And then I'm just pressing those edges right where I seamed around. Just to get, the seam is just a guide to press the edges evenly and make sure that they just turn out beautiful and crisp. I then plied the pockets and sewed around them like a patch pocket, but I left the side opening open instead of the top opening so I could slide my hand in by the side. I took my curve ruler and went ahead and pinned the front of the nightgown together and then cut an edge curve to the front so that I'd have kind of a high-low effect on the nightgown. And here I am cutting away the work in the back, and this is what it looks like finished it in total white. Just look at that open work in the back. Okay, here she is. We got done with the duster.
the lace along the edges. I have the sleeves on, but she's given a bathrobe vibe still. I did the open work in the back, and I have the open pocket and slide my hands into, but she's looking like a nightgown to me still, or now a glorified bathrobe. So I am definitely wanting to dye it and make it look more like something that's for day wear and not so Victorian nightgown. So we're going to experiment and do that. If not, if it doesn't work out that this is going to be a wearable duster, then I'll have myself a glorified vintage nightgown that's been dyed. So let's go dye it. Okay, I'm in the kitchen now. I've got my pot full, about half full of water. Someone said something to me about using the same dishes that I eat out of for dyeing clothes. And I'm very careful with that kind of thing. This is stainless steel. It washes clean. I'm always careful to make sure I clean it after using it for dye. I'm making it based off of my husband's opinion. And he said we should dye our denim. Now I have this bottle of denim dye. It is about this full, so I'm hoping we have enough to get a nice solid denim dye. This fabric will pick up the denim in different ways because it has the open work, so it has all of the embroidery. The embroidery will probably turn out darker denim. It has this nightgown cotton, which is really light, thin cotton. And then the sleeves, and the sleeves are linen, and the lace is, I don't know what it is. It's probably linen because it's on the linen tablecloth, but we'll see. Also, I just want to point out, in case you notice it later, that one of the pockets on here did end up with one of the vintage tablecloth stains. I'll show you. There were rust stains on the tablecloth, and I tried to work around them. I'm just going to dye over that. I'm not going to worry about it at this point because I don't think it's super noticeable, especially if we're dyeing. So let's dye this. So we got the water going. We're going to get it nice and hot. We're going to wet this, and then we're going to pour in some denim dye and experiment. The water's starting to get hot and boily, so I'm going to go ahead and pour some dye in. I'm just going to pour what's left here in because I do want it to be a really nice denim look. What do you think? Maybe I'll do half. Should I start with half? Let's do half. Okay, that's about half. We'll let it simmer a little bit because you know me, I can be very impulsive. I could pour the whole thing in and then not be careful enough and get it too dark, but let's let it get a little hot here. I'll stir it around and then we'll do a paper towel test. Got my stainless steel spoon. I learned the paper towel test from Tracy Myers. If you don't know Tracy Myers, she has a YouTube channel where she does a lot of upcycles and bohemian style things similar to myself. I discovered her, and yeah, I've learned a lot from her as far as dyeing goes that I didn't know previously when I was dyeing. So just take a paper towel. I guess you don't have to fold it up like that, but I wanted to get kind of a good dense reading. And we can see we've got a nice blue on that. Now, of course, it's going to rinse out after we dye. Some of the color will rinse out. So I might want to go ahead and add all of that dye that's left, get a really deep color. I wouldn't mind all of the embroidery work to have a really dark blue and the rest have kind of a medium denim. So let's try that. I'm going to be careful we're not getting dye on everything. Going to rinse out the bottle. I put more water in here. I'm going to give it a good shake, get the last little bit of dye out of that. Let's give it a little swirl and stir. Let's get another paper towel. Got another one. Gonna give it a little try. Ooh, now that's a dark blue. I hope I don't regret that. I don't want the whole thing to be that dark. I think we're going to be okay. Fingers crossed. Can't change it once it's dyed. It's going to be dyed. Okay, tip. Before I pick up that white that I'm going to dye, I want to make sure I don't have dye on my fingers. Now, you can wear gloves for this so you don't have dye on your fingers, period. But I don't want to touch it and get dye on the garment before it gets put into the dye itself. Since it's a white, we want a very even dyeing. So what I have found is I've wetted it. I've let it set for a minute to kind of drain out. And I'm going to hold it up and lower it into the water from the lower hem all the way up to the neckline, so it just gets an even. So if there's any unevenness, it will be like the bottom's darker than the top or something like that. So because as soon as the fibers hit the dye, they just start soaking in that dye. It's so delicious. Teen tag on there. Look at the open work in the back. You can really see it now that it's wet. Isn't that gorgeous? I just appliqued it on and then cut the under fabric out of the way so that it would show through. All right, so we've got it with the hem first, and we're lowering it in. Gonna do the sleeves at the same time. Now we're gonna need to start pushing it down in. Oh, instantly we have a different garment. I'm gonna bring you over and show you. Look at that. Look at how blue that is already. We are going to have a very denim duster, and it's not going to look like a nightgown. And I'm excited. Okay, guys, it's been sitting for like 20 minutes here, and I'm really loving the color. I'm going to get to the beautiful parts so that you could see what it's looking like. It's kind of hard with it being so wet and such a dark blue, but you can see that the open work has taken on a very dark blue, and the underwork is a little lighter like I was hoping. So now we're going to take it to the sink, rinse it, and then put it in the washing machine for a final rinse and spin, and then the dryer to set it. And then we'll go take pictures.